back to my channel. I've talked about how what anxiety feels like to me, the misconceptions about it, but today I'm going to talk about ways I deal with it or ways that I cope with it. So basically what helps me. It's not for everyone. It may not work, for every individual going through anxiety. It works for me. It may not always work though. Some of the things I do may not always work. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Um, but yeah, it really depends. Okay, so first, when anxiety hits, it can be intense at times. Like I just my physical symptoms come, like, raise my heart races very quickly. I sweat a lot, like I've mentioned in the past. It hits really hard, and I'm just having thoughts about, like, oh my god, what am I doing? What do I say? Am I gonna embarrass myself? Things like that. That's what's going around in my head at the moment. And again, like for me, anything that provokes my anxiety can be something very small. It doesn't have to be something big, like, uh going in front of a crowd and speaking. It doesn't have to be something like that. It can be just walking into a store. That's how it could just start that easy, at least for me. Whenever I have those intense moments of anxiety, um I can't think clearly. Like, I don't know, it's like my judgment is completely clouded and blocked, and I just can't think clearly. All I'm thinking about and all I'm focusing on is my anxiety, how I'm feeling in the moment, and my worries. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm not focusing on anything else. So some small things that help me cope during those moments is basically, I have a few strategies. One of them is basically stepping away from the situation, taking a break, um, realizing that I may not be able to continue what I'm doing right now. Like I can't continue this situation. I have to leave. I have to go because it's just too overbearing for me at the moment. Other times I really try and focus on my breathing, like, take deep breaths, but it doesn't really help us all the time. It doesn't fix everything, and it doesn't always help. It's like my anxiety just takes over. Even when I do my breathing exercises, it doesn't always work. I know for some people, I'm sure it works for them. Like they say, like calm down, just breathe in, focus on your breathing. But it doesn't always work for me because my thoughts are just too strong, and they take over. Even if I'm not in a stressful situation, but my anxiety just comes about. So I like to like sit in a calm environment. I like to sit in silence and just be with myself, by myself. Um, just trying to, calm myself and create positive thoughts. So, if I'm in public, I tend to, if I'm feeling a bit anxious or if I'm alone and I just feel, awkward around others, I go on my phone. Like I use my phone. I, go on social medias. I try and text, people I know, just so I can distract myself from the situation, because like I just find it a bit awkward or uncomfortable to just, sit around and look at everyone else, or just, I'd rather just stay on my phone because I feel like it's like a shield, or basically it just helps, it distracts me and helps me forget a bit where I am, if that makes sense. So I also like I think I said this in one of my previous videos, but I really like watching, shows or movies when I'm anxious. Like it helps me calm down because it basically, like, I feel like I'm somewhere else when I'm watching them. Like I can just breathe and distract myself and really focus on what I'm watching. It really helps, like, just forget about, what my thoughts, my negative thoughts. Also, I've started, gaming. So the gaming also really helps me put aside my issues, and it helps me forget. Um, it helps me forget, and I find when I'm gaming, sometimes I can, like, I'm like a different person. Not becoming, but I'm like a different person because of, the way I act. Maybe sometimes I'll try and, like scream, yell, or just, the way I act when I game can be different from how I am, normally. So like it really does help when I game. It just helps me forget about everything, and it really helps me forget and put everything aside. And it just, maybe for some of you it helps, maybe it doesn't, but for me it actually really does, and I'm really happy about that. Other times, when I have to go do something in public, I prefer being with someone else. I find being with someone else helps. I don't know, maybe because I feel protected, or at least if I'm with someone else, if I'm encounter someone and they're maybe not, they probably most likely won't be speak directly to me, or they'll speak with my friend or my family member as well, so I won't feel like on the spot. Because when I'm alone and someone comes right up to me, I feel like on the spot, like, oh my god, what do I say, what do I say? That's, I feel that. And I just like having like a companion with me. I find it's relieving. Like I can sometimes I feel like I'm a different person as well, because I have more confidence in myself and I'm less anxious. Like I can go to a store and talk, or a restaurant, talk to someone easier if I'm with someone else. But if I'm alone, I feel like I'm vulnerable, and that it's a lot more difficult to speak to someone. Which I know it sounds weird, because why would you be afraid to like order a drink or something? Like you're the client, you shouldn't be afraid to order a drink. But I just, unfortunately, I am sometimes. I'll do it, but I get anxious just walking in. Like I mentioned before, some things that don't really help often is trying to calm myself down. Basically, like just saying to myself, calm down, you got this, you're okay. A lot of the times that doesn't help. I know they say talking to yourself and encouraging yourself helps, but I'm not saying for everyone, but for me, it doesn't always help. Most of the time it doesn't, because if it did, I would have most likely been able to control my anxiety a lot more than I can right now. So than I actually can. So yeah, it doesn't really help me. Also, people tell me, no, ignore your anxiety, uh, or you don't let it control you. You tell it what to do. I wish that worked. It doesn't. If it did, I wouldn't have had this issue, but it doesn't always work. I feel like it controls me at times, or most of the time. So yeah, it doesn't really work as much as I would like it to. And yeah, like I'm sure I mentioned this in my previous video, that some people just don't understand what others are going through, and just saying, oh, like, why are you being so anxious? There's nothing to be anxious about, there's nothing to be scared about. Just, ignore it. It's not that easy. I wish it was, but it's not. I wouldn't be making these videos. I wouldn't be going through therapy if it wasn't, like if it was that easy. Um, but yeah, unfortunately, if you haven't gone through it, it's hard. Like I'm sure some people, can empathize, but if you haven't really gone through it, it's hard to understand, right? Like when someone is going through a medical condition, if you haven't gone through it, it's hard to understand what they've gone through. You know what I mean? Like, just don't judge people, don't judge them for what they're going through or how they cope with it. And also, anxiety does not, when I'm going through an anxious moment, it doesn't go away quickly. It's it stays for a while, but when it does go away, it literally feels like a breath of fresh air. Like I feel my chest relaxing, and my heart rate just slowing down. Like I feel it. Like let's say I'm about to go into an anxious situation, and I feel so anxious, but once I'm there, once I'm speaking, at times it will like subside, and I'll feel very good. Like it just, I feel relaxed, and it feels good. It feels like I'm in control again of my body. And yeah, I'm still figuring this out. I don't know when I'm, gonna be in complete control of it and figure it all out, but as of now, and probably for a lot more years, I probably still won't have it figured out. It's very difficult. Just because you're going through something doesn't mean you understand what you're going through all the time, if that makes sense. Like it's not easy. So I'm gonna, end here. Um, so these are the things, the strategies that help me. I don't know if they help everyone, and again, I'm not 100, I'm not sure that will help you. They help me, but everyone's different. Everyone copes differently. everyone, does things that help them that others don't do, right? Everyone has a different coping strategy. So I just want to let everyone know that it's okay if you feel alone. It's okay if you're going through this, because you're not alone. You may think you're alone, but you're not alone. And there's other people going through what you're going through, just to let you know. And you're okay. Like, it's okay not to be okay. I'll keep, posting videos and of, different things, different. So this video was about my coping strategies and how anxiety feels to me. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope you guys stick around for my life with anxiety journey. Don't forget, you're not alone, and we got this together. Bye.